Hi guys, I'm Carrie Birch from Tambella Arts, and today I'm going to show you how to make this flower quilling artwork. There's a full instructional PDF that you can download from my site, tambellaarts.com.au/flower, and those instructions include details of the tools I'm using and a printable template for this project. Start by printing the template and trace the design onto tracing paper. A hot tip is that baking paper makes great tracing paper. Then flip your trace design over and copy it onto your cardstock. I'm using Reflections 176 GSM weighted cardstock for this piece, and I just prefer to use card over paper. I find it's just easier to shape and manipulate. I'm using a light blue for the main part of this project, and you may want to go over your lines to see them a bit more clearly so that you can see what you're cutting out. I'm also using a dark blue for this design, and lead pencil is very difficult to see on darker colours. To make my trace shape stand out more clearly, I go over my tracing paper with a brightly coloured pencil, in this case a nice yellow. So once again, flip over your design and copy onto your cardstock. I just use a felt tip pen to transfer the design. There we go. And then cut your pieces out. You'll see on the larger shape, I've sliced the card without cutting the shape away, and this line will act as a guide to line up the darker piece when I glue my pieces together. It's a little hard to see here, but there are pencil marks visible on these pieces. So if I flip my cut pieces over, that'll ensure that any pencil marks aren't visible on my final artwork. Just flip the petal. Now apply a small amount of glue and stick down your narrow dark cutout to the large lighter cutout. And now it's time to start shaping your quilling strips. To give your quilling strip its bowed shape, run your quilling tool along the edge of the paper with a gentle pressure. Think curling a ribbon with scissors, it's pretty much the same action. You can use your printed template to compare the length and shape of your strip before you cut it and glue it into place. I cut all my quilling strips from the same cardstock I used to create my paper art pieces. If you visit my site, tambellaarts.com.au/papercraft, I have a quick video which shows you the process I used to cut my own strips. Repeat shaping, cutting and gluing your strips, and make sure that you go along each edge of each coloured section. You'll note you don't need too much glue. You can see I'm reducing any excess glue on my strips by tapping them onto my glue holder before I stick them into place. I'm also using an old plastic lid for my glue, and I use Elmer's school glue, but any tacky glue will work for quilling projects. Just remember less is more. Paper sticks really easily to paper with a touch of glue. Now repeat the same process for your little petal, shaping and gluing the outline. Just the other side. Done. Now we'll create the small swirls that go across the top of the flower. Using your quilling tool, wrap a strip around its end over and over for about at least 4 times to form a coil, and then cut. Coils are the simplest traditional quilling shape you'll make, and for this design you'll need to create about 8 or 9. Next, shape and cut the lines that will go into the main part of the flower. I like to do a dry run of cutting my pieces and setting them into place, and then taking them out again to apply glue. That way you can see what the design will look like before anything is permanent. So you can see here I'm just placing things into place without glue. And then I take them all out and dip them and place them back in the location they were at before. There we go. Next, dip your coils into your glue and set them into position. And you'll want them to fit fairly snugly in the design. They'll have a bit of give. There we go. Next, create a loose coil for your petal. Cut, dip in your glue and set into place. To form the stem of your design, compare against your printed template and create another larger, looser coil. So it's exactly the same technique wrapping around your quilling tool, and then loosen the coil out. Now we need to create the backing board for our piece. I use a separate piece of cardstock, and this design will fit neatly into an 11.5 square centimetre opening. So I've cut this piece of card to 15 centimetres square, or 6 inches square for those of you watching in the US. From there you can arrange your elements onto your backing card, apply glue and stick them into place based on the template design. And there you have it, one completed quilling flower. You can download the full PDF instructions from my website for free, and I also explain the exact paper I'm using and where to purchase it. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and please let me know what other projects you'd like to see from me in the comments below.